Here are 7 brand new features and details from the latest content drop for Need for Speed Unbound. The main focus of the story will be based around the weekly calendar. Spread across 4 in-game weeks, players will have multiple events to complete in order to gain access to the qualifier events ending on a Saturday. If you take a look at week 2, we can see there are events during both day and night time, meaning we're going to have a time cycle like we had in Need for Speed Heat. It's not confirmed exactly how this is going to work yet, but I can imagine it will be the case of going to a safe house, say after a daytime race event or a nighttime cop chase, and then once you've done so, you'll then have the option to progress time. A better look at the class system is also shown, with B class all the way up to S+. Each of the race events will require one of these classes in order to complete the day and move on. The qualifier events on each Saturday have a buy-in, as you can see here, and specific requirements to enter, so you'll need a specific car class. You may even need a specific car for it. Having a look at the third week, you need a S-Class car as well as a $60,000 buy-in to participate in the event. As well as that, you also get awarded a specific car for completing them. As you can see here, you can get the Crown Vic or the Nissan GTR, stuff like that. And of course, once you complete all 4 of the qualifier events over each week, you'll then have a shot at the Grand, which is Lakeshore's biggest race event, and I have no idea how insane this is going to be, but I can imagine as hyped up as it is throughout the story, I'm sure it's going to be a big deal. Side betting has returned since we last saw it in Need for Speed Payback, but this time it feels like a proper side bet system. So by the looks of it, these side bets are at car meets. I'm not too sure if they're going to be in every single race event or only the ones at the car meets. But once you're there before the race, you'll have the option to place a side bet on any of the races. Depending on the predicted outcome, as you can see on screen here, you'll gain more cash if you bet on one of the better races. Obviously that's kind of a standard, but as you can see at the bottom, there is a very small payout, whereas the higher up is a much larger one. Now in terms of cash, it isn't much, but it will definitely come in handy for the race event buy-ins that you have on the qualifying weekend. Moving on to the cops, there is actually quite a lot of details on these, so let's cover as much as possible. So what I've seen, there are 6 different levels of cops depending on what heat level you are. Starting off at the bottom, we've got the Corvettes at level 1. At level 2, we have a undercover version of the Chevrolet Camaro ZR1. At level 3 is a Dodge Charger. I believe this is either the 2015 or potentially even the 2022 model, but either way, it's one of the newer versions of the Charger. There is also a level 4, as we can see here on the map. We don't actually know what car this is going to be yet, as it doesn't show up in the gameplay trailer, but at least we know that there is a level 4. And then of course at level 5, as we all know, it is the Ford F-150 Raptor, which is also the SWAT unit. These are primarily going to be in the roadblocks depending on what heat level you are, but as you can also see from the gameplay, they will be challenging you at a high heat level. And then the final unit, as you can see on the icon down the bottom, it is a helicopter unit. We expected these would make a return within Need for Speed Unbound, but here we go, it is confirmed both within the gameplay, as you can see the spotlight, and then of course you can see the symbol. So there's another cool feature with Need for Speed Unbound and the cop chases, and if you look closely at the bottom of your HUD, it actually shows how many cops are chasing you at one time. It shows you exactly what level of the cop car they are and how many are chasing you. So for instance, if you have a look here, there are 2 of the level 2 undercover Camaros. If you take out one of these cops, for instance, it will then go back down to the 1 badge. I'm also not too sure how high these badges can go, but say if there's 3 of the same cop chasing you, does that mean there'll be 3 of these badges kind of bundled up next to each other? Each police unit also has different durability, which we've kind of looked at before, but looking at all these different levels now, it is definitely made a lot clear, meaning that the level 1 Corvettes are now the easiest cops to take out instead of before where they're the hardest ones. And then of course these SWAT units will be the toughest and most durable vehicles, so they'll probably take quite a lot of hits before you can take one out. And to be honest, I don't even know if you will be able to take one of them out. Like, look at the size of them, and you already know as soon as I get my hands on the game, this is going to be one of the first things I will try and see if I can take out one of the SWAT units. Now another big thing players will want to know is about cash and how you can earn it within Unbound. So there are multiple ways to earn cash. The safest route of course is within daytime race events at a low heat level. That way when you win a race event, the cash will go straight into your bank and it's nice and safe within there. The other main way is during nighttime events, but there is more risk in doing so. Each event you complete, you'll earn more cash, but it goes into a separate inventory, so if you get caught by the police, you lose it all. The open world activities, such as stunt jumps, also seem to award the player small amounts of money like they did in Heat. If you look through different parts of the gameplay, you'll see that the risk money in the top right corner changes at different parts of the gameplay shown. Customization is shown off once again with the newly added Ford Crown Victoria. At first, I didn't even realize what the car was until I saw the Ford badge on the front, but bro, this car looks absolutely insane. Everything about the wide body is custom, alongside brand new parts such as a roll cage, racing seats, and the ability to remove certain parts of the bumpers with the engine grills. Now, this next detail is actually hidden away only in the teaser, not the full gameplay reveal for this drop, but in Need for Speed Unbound, there's actually going to be a moving train that will feature within Lakeshore City. Of course, we've already seen it if you've taken a look at the map. One of the images shows a train overlooking the city, but if you have a look at the teaser they put out before drop number 3, there's actually a small clip of the player jumping onto the track with a moving train coming towards them. Again, it's a very niche little feature, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have this within the game, and it's definitely going to be interesting if we've got any race events on the tracks, or even in a cop chase to get the train to take out one of the cars. And the last detail I spotted was near the end of the trailer in the race event. You can see that there are 2 options to choose from with the highway slip road or to go underneath it. It's been a while since we've had this as an option in a Need for Speed game, and something as simple as this is a great change of gameplay for the race events. To what I can remember, the last proper time we saw these was in the OG games like Carbon, Undercover, and I think even Underground had some of these within the races. And there we go, those are 7 new features and details coming to Need for Speed Unbound. I'll have more details soon, so be sure to like and subscribe and stick around as I'll be covering all of the info right here.